Good evening, members and supporters of the American Correctional Association. My name is Rechard Jackson, and I am honored to be speaking to you tonight. As most of us know, the method of incarceration in punishing criminals has been a controversial and questioned subject over time. However, I will be discussing how effective and important it is to maintain the safety of our country, as well as teaching lessons of self-betterment and respect. Were you aware that approximately 0.94% of the United States population is incarcerated? This would average out to approximately 2,300,000 inmates. Excuse me. Making the United States the largest prison capital in the world. African Americans take the cake in large population, the largest population for those incarcerated. Hispanics are second, whites are third. Among those races, approximately 120,000 are women. In between the ages of 18 and elderly, and 16% of that is solely elderly people. Majority of those people are either from lower class backgrounds or upper class due to white collar crimes. The middle class population appears to be the least. As you can see, there is no predictability when determining the primary type of people being incarcerated. And this is why incarceration is so important. There are many justified reasons behind incarceration. Being formidable punishment, number one being that it is prohibited criminals from committing any further crimes during their sentence. Another reason is it encourages change in inmates through training, counseling, and much time to reflect on their decisions they made. Also, the fact that their freedom was taken away from them, they aren't treated as valued citizens. It creates a sense of remorse. Therefore, making the reluctant to make mistakes to end up back in the same place, isolation from the things they love and enjoy, makes them want to do better for them and do better for themselves, so that they are able to enjoy those things. Prison nowadays implements programs to teach inmates that there is indeed another way to live, and this is not the only decision. Prisons also provide jobs within the prison as somewhat of insensitive to keep up good behavior and inspire them to find a career path when they are released. Race is an extremely controversial yet important topic to examine when looking at a mass incarceration. Blacks make up the majority of the prison population, and this creates a lot of turmoil as well as stereotyping by law enforcement, or racial profiling. Many times, this increased blacks in prison and jail is due to their living environment and situation, passing on through the generations. No one ever taught these criminals in different ways growing up. This was all they knew and saw. A lot of the prison population comes from low-income black communities living in government housing and in dangerous areas. The crimes essentially revolve around ways to make money, or lack of respect for one another around them due to lack of role modeling growing up. White privilege plays a factor in the same that many times the court gives white people the benefit of the doubt simply because they are living the American way, or may come from different classes. This seen this is seen through when successful businessmen and women and celebrities are accused of committing crime. The investigations are so lengthy and detailed simply because America doesn't want to accept that natural born white Americans are committing crimes. Prisons and jails work to combat this. They do show these people that there is a different life, and that if they keep living in the cycle of their of how they're living, or the groups of peers, they will be deprived of their freedom. Class plays a role in this too, in the same sense that majority of the prison population grew up in low income situations. The reasons there are correlations between the two, and because in these two income situations, the parents' lack of resource to teach and educate children on proper ways to make a living and communicate with others, simply because there's stress and pressure that comes along with poverty. The upper class portion that is incarcerated people simply commit these crimes feelings through they can get any way with it, or they can get away with it. Seeing as they appear wealthy and in power, jails and prisons also rid people of this mentally, because everyone is equal in prison. Everyone dressed the same, and they somewhat lose their identity once admitted, making no one seem superior to the others. This alone is enough to make someone prisoner change the, make someone or a prisoner change their ways, because they lose the one thing that they truly own. Essentially, it is important to use incarceration and punishment in the United States, because it is what Americans love the most: freedom. In order to teach that order and boundaries are in place to keep the world safe. Being confined to a lifestyle that is not first choice simply because you refuse to comply is a very effective way to open the eyes of someone who wants to live their life but doesn't know the right way. Incarceration acts as a reality check. The, and teachers and teaches the essential lesson and teach the essential lesson that every action has a consequence. Yes, there are some flaws in the system. A lot is being associated with race, but through raising awareness of the racial downfall in America, this potentially can be prevented. Incarceration gives Americans a sense of peace, knowing that dangerous criminals aren't out roaming and committing all kinds of crimes throughout the day or any time. Through this form of punishment, America stays a safe and wonderful place, because it is valued the safety of the citizens, as well as gives those who make mistakes a chance to learn from them. I hope all of this information was a great insight to you all, and thank you for your attention.